Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and delighted to have back with us today Christopher Doyle. We've had him before and really like what he does. He's a licensed therapist and counselor, Equality and Justice for All. And by the way, you can go to equalityandjusticeforall.org is his website, equalityandjusticeforall.org. We've talked about this SOCE. In fact, Oregon is one of the 4 states that have banned it, and it is the Sexual Orientation Change Effort. And the Obama administration is trying to get this to be banned throughout all 50 states. So, Christopher, good to see you. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, good, Perry. How are you today?
Good, good. Thanks for being with us. Yeah, Oregon leads the way on some strange things. Explain to our audience what this is.
Well, there has been a concerted effort among gay activists in the last few years to actually take away the rights of individuals, especially minors and their families, who experience unwanted same-sex attractions. And the way that they do this is they're trying to pose it as they're protecting gay youth. But what we really know is it's really a concerted effort to sort of quell and silence those like myself who've experienced change and resolved unwanted same-sex attractions. And they know that if they can try to indoctrinate and take away those rights of youth to experience licensed counseling to help them, they can really make a lot of inroads and get their political message through. And so there's been a really concerted effort to go after the rights of young people in that false premise that they're protecting gay youth. But we understand that this isn't really the clients that we work with don't identify as gay. Like myself, they believe that they were inherently created heterosexually, but because of mainly trauma and other unresolved issues, they've developed unwanted same-sex attractions. And we work with those clients to help them resolve those issues and experience freedom and really become who they really believe they are.
All right. In Oregon, when this first came to the surface, we were all kind of, on tilt that our legislature had gone down this road, even to the point where you couldn't even help a child who was leaning that way. I mean, it was hands off entirely.
Yeah, it's tragic. And, every child deserves the right to resolve unwanted attractions, unwanted desires, and unmet emotional needs. And especially when we're dealing with children who may have been the victims of sexual abuse, that may have unwanted same-sex attractions as a result of that abuse, to tell those children and their families, no, you don't have the rights to go and resolve those issues and work on those unwanted attractions. It's unbelievable. It's unthinkable that in America we would do that. And it's really, really sick at what the Obama administration, of what the gay activists are trying to do. They're basically trying to take away the rights of those to heal. And that's not an American idea. That's not an American value.
Well, the flip side of this, Christopher, is that during those formidable years, good influence is so important. If you remove all influence, then it succumbs to the lowest denominator.
Well, we know that there are so many influences out there for youth today. And, when the research actually says consistently that parents, teachers, counselors, and the church are the largest influencers. But if we are actively trying to take those influences away or take away the rights of parents to get their help for their children, that's going to be very harmful to our youth. And what are they left? Facebook, social media, the internet, Hollywood. Those aren't the kind of influences that we want our children to be exposed to. We want them to be getting positive influences that's going to build them up and build their character up and help them realize their true potential. And this is really what the liberal left wants. They don't want families. They don't want church. They don't want counselors to be influencing young people. They want the liberal indoctrination and that message to be influencing. And that's exactly what we're seeing with laws like this.
I don't think the average parent sometimes understands the intimidation pressure that students are under. I talked to a student the other day that literally wanted out of the school, and even some teachers agreed that the intimidation, the intimidation to explore,
yes,
is so great that they can't handle it.
Well, Perry, let me tell you the story of a young man that I've been working with in counseling for over a year now. And I just met with him yesterday. And when I started counseling with him, he's 16 years old. He was very afraid. He didn't understand his same-sex attractions. He also had a hard time relating to other men, other young men, and making friends. And after 1 year of therapy, he said to me, if I wouldn't have been in this counseling, I would have succumbed to the peer pressure and the social pressure of all those around me who were telling me that gay was just who I was, that this was just a part of me and that I should embrace and accept it. But now that I've looked within myself and I've understood the roots of why I feel this way, I totally feel free. I'm a different person. I feel so much more at peace with myself, and I'm so much more happier that I've gone on this journey. And this is something that has been life-saving for this young man. He's benefited greatly, and it's unimaginable that gay activists would try to take away this right from young people who desperately need it. If it wasn't for this kind of help when I was a young person, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I'm married with a beautiful woman. We have 5 wonderful children, and I'm living my dream. Everyone has the right to pursue their dreams and their self-determination. And who are we to say to them, your goal for therapy or your value is not appropriate? That's not an American value. That's indoctrination. That's control, and that's socialism.
You're again evidence of what I say so often: whatever God saves you from or brings you through, turns you around, makes you a minister too. Your own passion from your own experience has led you to be so good at what you do. And how long does it take when you begin to work with somebody, maybe even this young man, do they begin to realize this is nothing more than cultural pressure, and I want to be free from this?
Well, for those who are out there who are looking for help on therapy, and especially families, I work with a lot of families. Go to my website at instituteforhealthyfamilies.org. That's instituteforhealthyfamilies.org. And what I do and what my organization does that's a little bit different is we take a holistic family approach, because we don't look at this issue as just the client or John's issue or the son's issue. There's often different types and sources of compounding factors that's going into someone feeling unwanted same-sex attractions. So we work with parents, we work with families intensively, and I work with the teenagers and the minors as well, on resolving these issues. So first, that said, the level and the amount of time it takes to heal is usually dependent on the severity of the wounding that we're dealing with. So, if we have a client that has been sexually abused for years, it's going to take that client longer possibly than a client that maybe just has some attachment problems, has a hard time relating with other guys, and just needs some help in resolving some of those issues. So each individual is different. But what I can tell you is that when individuals go and we help them resolve the root causes as to why they feel these same-sex attractions, they heal, they change, they find freedom.
First of all, let me say to our viewers and listeners, you can contact them through instituteforhealthyfamilies.org, or you can go to equalityandjusticeforall.org as well. Let me ask you this, Christopher, before I run out of time. Is there a commonality that begins the same-sex attraction? Is it emotional, or is it a result of trauma? I mean, I know all of those are contributing factors, but I was reading the other day that it really does begin with some kind of an emotion. Is that true?
Well, what I find in most of my clients is, and I work with mostly men, is they didn't bond with their fathers, and then they had a hard time bonding with other guys growing up. And so it's really an attachment, a bonding, and an intimacy issue. And so when guys don't bond with other guys, and when they hit puberty, all of those unmet emotional needs become sexualized. So that's a very common pathway. There's also a pathway of trauma and sexual abuse that could be an early awakening to sexuality. That's a different pathway. But sometimes, and a lot of times, these pathways or these factors are all enmeshing together, and it's a complex interaction. What I can tell you is that it's not simply something that someone chooses. It's something that someone can understand and resolve. But like any other issue, it takes time, it takes effort, and of course there's spiritual implications. And I invite clients to use their faith, to bring their faith into therapy, and to help understand and pray the right prayers in therapy. The wrong prayer is, God, take these desires away. The right prayer is, Lord, show me the meaning of these desires so that I can heal and fulfill these needs in a healthy way.
Beautifully said. Quickly, why is the Obama administration pushing for ban in all 50 states? What's the motive and what's the agenda?
Well, again, it's this liberal gay activist agenda where they're trying to shut down the rights of those who disagree with them. You know, it's amazing that liberals are so pro-choice on so many issues, but whenever it comes to the rights of young people to get help for unwanted same-sex attractions, oh no, we can't give them a choice. So it really is an ideological war against Christianity and against conservatism. And they know that the vast majority of families and young people that actually seek out this help tend to be Christian or religious and conservative. And so it's an ideological war against those who disagree with them. And so we have to call it out for what it is. It's not about protecting gay youth. There's actually not been one single study that has studied the outcomes of those who have gone through this therapy. In fact, me and my colleague in Ohio, Dr. James Phelan, are conducting the first study so that we can look at the outcomes and see how do people get helped, what's helpful, what's not helpful, and how can we help people in the future, minors, do this work better and help them more. So there's very little research that's actually been done on this, and the administration knows that this is an ideological war.
Yeah. Christopher, you're a delight. Thanks, my friend. Let's stay in touch. And again, let me say to our viewers and listeners, equalityandjusticeforall.org or the Institute for Healthy Families.org. Thank you, buddy. God bless you. Talk to you again soon. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.